Welcome to day 63 of our BitClout journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother,
I
Brian.
think you actually cut out there. So he said, welcome to day 63 of our BitClout journey. Go ahead.
What are you talking about, Brian?
I think he cut off. We'll see when we upload the video, but I think
I'm the one wearing the glasses today, so I think I'm the smart one. Okay. So anyhow, we're going to talk about a few things. Number one, the CEO of Coinbase mentioned BitClout yesterday. So that's very interesting. Number two, BlockChain.com has joined BitClout, and BlockChain is an exchanger. So it's making people believe that maybe BitClout's going to be added to an exchange sometime soon. And CloutFeed, the mobile app for BitClout, just went open source. And they got a $200,000 coin buy from somebody. So I guess we can start out by talking about BlockChain.com.
Yeah, so BlockChain.com is one of the bigger exchanges / wallets / block explorers online. And yesterday, they popped up on BitClout. They got verified and they're actually on BitClout. Their founder reward's set at 100, so nobody can actually buy their coin. But I think that's big, because why are they creating a BitClout account unless they plan on listing BitClout, I would assume.
Yeah, like as soon as it's listed on exchangers, I think we're going to see some major price fluctuation going on. And we're going to see what the supply and demand, where they actually come together and set a price. I think that between getting listed on an exchanger and the miners beginning to mine, I think that's going to really, upend the pricing of BitClout. And it could fall, it could rise. I don't know. I think maybe we'll see a dip to start and then it'll start rising. Nobody really knows. But I think that's very interesting.
I also think that once it gets listed on one or many major exchanges, I think it's going to kind of bring notoriety to the public. I've spoken to so many crypto people that you think would know about BitClout, and they don't even have the slightest clue what it is. So I think that a major listing would kind of bring eyeballs to BitClout in itself and kind of help bring on board some people to the platform.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree. No, so the other event that took place yesterday was the CEO of Coinbase actually mentioned BitClout. What did he have to say?
Yeah, so Coinbase is the only, it's the largest publicly traded company on the U.S. stock exchange. And Brian Armstrong, the CEO, he has a blog a business blog on Coinbase.com where he updates users to whatever's happening within Coinbase. And he said that right now they use Twitter and Facebook and Instagram to disseminate information and news regarding Coinbase. But he said that in the future, he thinks that they're going to probably use decentralized platforms that are on the blockchain like BitClout. So it was a nice mention. It was it kind of probably, I'm guessing it probably brought some attention to BitClout. Some people that didn't hear BitClout probably know about it now because they read the newsletter. And I think it's big because he realizes how important BitClout could become. And Coinbase Ventures is actually one of the early investors into BitClout, so it makes sense.
And it's nice to know that they're still keeping track of BitClout and it's definitely on their radar. So I think those are all great signs for the future of BitClout. Now, the third thing we want to talk about is CloutFeed. A lot of people knew about this app. There were a few concerns about, could they be stealing our information? There was never any sign that they were, but they just went open source. So those concerns kind of go away now.
Yeah, I think that CloutFeed probably decided to do this because they realize there's going to be competition and there needs to be a layer of trust. Before anybody uses any mobile app, they want to know that their seed phrase is safe. So what's the best way to make sure that users know that their seed phrase is safe, put out all the code and let people see it, and let other developers can also take that code and create their own product with it. So I think it's a huge move by CloutFeed, and I think it's going to garner a lot of trust. I think it's going to help move the product forward, and I also think that it's huge for BitClout, because now you have an open source mobile app that others can kind of add to and create as a community, and I think that's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if others take that open source code and develop on top of it.
Yeah, and I think they will, and I think it's just going to make exponentially improve the product, because you have potentially thousands of developers can take the code and work with it for the foreseeable, for forever, pretty much. And that's just
we
awesome.
talked about the Flick app created by the founders of FanDuel, and now this kind of creates some competition, I guess you could say, between an open source and a closed source, two different apps that are coming to BitClout. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how that competition creates the best apps out there possible. I think it's just going to encourage the development of these apps.
Yeah, I kind of see it kind of like iOS, Apple's iOS versus Android, where you kind of have this closed iOS versus this more open Android. And as you see what's happening, they're both flourishing in their own respect. So I think there's room for two major apps, and I think CloutFeed and Flick will probably be those two major apps. And like you mentioned in the beginning, there was a major investor in the CloutFeed coin, $200,000 from the account BitAnchor. They gave $200,000 to shot the CloutFeed coin up from I think 2,900 to 6,600 in a second. And I mean, that's huge. I mean, there's big money behind this, and it shows that there's a lot behind CloutFeed now. And I mean, if somebody's trusting it with $200,000, I think I would trust it. I think that when we see the code and developers, I'm not a coder, so I'm not going to be able to say, oh, this is perfectly safe, but there are going to be plenty of them that are going to be plenty of developers that are going to be able to say, this is safe, use it, it's no problem. And it has so many features. I think it's awesome. So I think that having two different mobile apps moving forward, I think it's going to add competition between the two, and you're going to get two awesome products. And that's a great.
I'm looking forward to it. And I don't think we're just going to have two. I think we're going to see more app developers come into play. I think they're going to be different types of apps built around BitClout. But I think that's a good place to leave off day 63 of our BitClout journey. And we will see you tomorrow.